Hello, Taurus. Welcome back and Happy New Year. This is your yearly reading for 2026. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, either sidereal or tropical, depending what you resonate best with. Let's have a look at your yearly messages. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on new videos that come out. And remember, Taurus, these are general readings. If you'd like insights into your own personal situation, you can contact me via the links below for private readings. Taurus, also, if you're interested in learning tarot, you can head over to Alkemystica, where we share esoteric knowledge and courses on learning tarot. Those links are below. So we are going to have a look and see month by month what's happening for you. And then we'll have a look at the overall message or overall theme for the year 2026, Taurus. Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So we'll go month by month, and then we'll look at any messages again also for 2026. And then we'll take the final card at the end to get an overall idea of the energy for 2026. I feel the beginning of the year is going to flow. I feel things are going to be easy at the beginning of the year. It's going to be a flowing energy. It's also going to be a very creative month. If you're doing anything creative in the month of January, it's going to be a good month for you to tap into that creative energy. Taurus, there might also be a situation in which emotions may be high. Emotions, you may feel more emotional in the month of January. This could be a month in which you're feeling dreamy, you're feeling in touch with your emotions, you're feeling intuitive. You may feel highly creative during January. And there could be something creative that you may start in January. So if you're thinking of doing something creative, this could be a good time to start it, to tap into those emotions, tap into that creativity. Moving into February, Taurus, very nice. I'm seeing a lot of abundance. I'm seeing energy, a lot of energy in February. A lot of success also if you're doing some business or with your career or your job or some project or even relationships. I feel there's going to be a lot of energy that you're putting into those. And I feel you're going to have a lot of success with whatever it is that you're doing in February, especially if in January you're starting some kind of creative project, for example. A lot of good things are coming your way in February. In March, Taurus, there could be a decision you have to make, some decision you have to make. You may be at a crossroads, deciding one thing or the next. And it could be a little bit stressful. It could be stressful having to make this decision. There could be some balance that needs to come out in a situation. This could also be some kind of conflict between what your mind wants to do and what your heart wants to do. Taurus, especially if at the beginning of the year, January, February, especially if you're working on creative things, you may have something creative that you're doing, something in which you're pouring a lot of your emotions into, in which you are expressing yourself. And March could be some kind of pivotal month in which you may have to decide to follow your heart or follow your logic in a certain situation, which coming into April, there could be some kind of loss here, some kind of loss in April, something that could have to do with this decision that needs to be made in March, Taurus. So April could bring some kind of loss. It could bring some kind of sadness. It could bring some kind of grief or even depression, Taurus. But I'm seeing that not all is lost in March, because there still is something positive that you can focus on. So instead of focusing on something that you may have lost in April, try to focus on something positive. Try to focus on what you still have or what you may gain, Taurus. And I feel this energy is going to push you into May. Taurus, there could be a slight block here. Even coming into May and June, I'm seeing there could be some blocks, especially in May, something in which you may be hesitant or maybe a little skeptical, but something in which you still have the energy to fight if you need to fight. So if you're dealing with some kind of loss or some kind of emotion, Taurus, for some of you, this could even be depression. Coming into some kind of emotional situation which you feel down, which you may feel blue. Coming into May, you still have the resilience. You still have this perseverance to hang in there, to fight. Because I feel whatever this is that you're dealing with, again, this could go back to this decision that needs to be made in March. But coming into June, this is something that you may be leaving behind, Taurus. Some situation you may be leaving behind, something painful that you may have to let go of, that you may need to leave behind, and you may need to start something new. Because Taurus, this is very interesting. As you're leaving this behind in June, there is a brand new beginning in July. A brand new beginning in July, which is going to bring a lot of happiness, a lot of fulfillment in August. So as I'm seeing this progress so far, Taurus, for some of you, this has to do with whatever you may be beginning at the beginning of the year. Again, whether this is something creative, this could be even a relationship for some of you. This could be a new relationship. You may be head over heels with somebody at the beginning of the year. Whatever your situation is, it's something new, which leads to a possible loss in April, but not all is lost, Taurus. You're persevering. You're hanging in there. And even though this is something you may need to let go of in June, again, there's a new beginning here in July. And by August, you're going to be feeling a lot better. Because I feel moving into September, you're ready to take the bull by the horns again. Taurus, you're ready to be out there. You're ready to get back out there. You're back in form. You're back in shape. And I feel you're taking control of some kind of situation here in September. Whether this is a situation, again, that could have to do with a relationship, possibly letting go of a relationship for some of you. It could have to do with a move. You may have to change houses. You may have to move from the place that you live in and start in a new place. A new place which is going to be very much more in alignment and bring a lot more joy and happiness to you than your previous place. This could be a job for some of you, taking back control in some situation that has to do with a job or a career. But whatever this is, September, you're taking charge of the situation again. You're putting yourself back out there. You're back on top of things. In October, it's interesting, Taurus. In October, there could be a return of some of this energy. This could be a little bit of stagnant energy. This could be a situation in which you may need to look at things differently. Taurus, I'm also seeing for some of you, you may be hanging on to something. You may be hanging on to something quite possibly that you didn't let go of 100% in the summer months, in the previous months, in June and July, for example. So you may be hanging on to something. You may need to let go of this because I feel in November, I'm seeing that there's a separation here. There's some kind of heartbreak that by December you need to move on from. Taurus, so you're going to have to move on from a situation. And by lingering in whatever this is in October, this could bring back some of this pain in November. Taurus. So overall, again, what I'm seeing that 2026, there could be some emotions, some strong emotions, some sadness, depression, some grief here regarding a decision that may need to be made, and something that quite possibly is painful that you may need to let go of. And you need to let go of this 100% in 2026. Elsewise, this energy will come back to haunt you towards the end of the year. And it'll come back and it'll be painful. This is some heartbreak. This is something, again, that could be stressful. It could be painful. And so some kind of clean break needs to happen from this for you to be able to move on completely. Because by December, I feel you're moving on from a situation that, again, in June, there's this painful ending, this situation in which you need to leave something behind, but you need to let it go completely, because I feel it may come back here in October, and that by December, you're having to relive this energy one more time, having to move on from it one more time. So try to let it go completely, Taurus. So let's look at the overall message, the overall theme for 2026. Gratitude and appreciation, Taurus. So be grateful. Even coming back here to our Five of Cups, think of the things that you have versus the things that you don't have. Think of what you can do versus what you can't do. Try to see things in a more positive light versus a negative light, and be grateful for the things that you have. Be appreciating what it is that you have versus what it is that you don't have. Taurus, again, remembering that there could be some painful ending here in 2026. The overall energy is to make sure that whatever is happening in 2026, to make some kind of clean break from it, to let go of it completely so you can move on from it completely, and to be grateful for the things that you have versus thinking about what you don't have, or being grateful for what you can do versus what you can't do, Taurus. So those are your messages for 2026. Do let me know if you have questions or comments in the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on new videos that come out. Don't forget to like this video and check the links below for additional readings or personal readings, and have a good week.